Hi, Stamper fans. Welcome to another Make It Monday. Thanks for joining me, whether you're watching live on Facebook or if you're catching the replay on YouTube. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm Nan Gerlitz, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Bloomington, Illinois, and I'm here to help you connect with your people, whether that's gathering together to craft or you making handmade items to share with them. It's all about making and deepening those connections. So let's get to it. I gotta find the right button. So Friday night Stampin' results are a little bit different this week. If you were not following along, we opted not to stamp on Friday night. Sometimes, your mojo is just not there and other things get in the way. So what I did instead, because I have a demonstrator event coming up next week, is I posted these 3 stamp sets, our Resourceful Rusty, For the Books, and Thankful Garden. And I asked you all to choose which one I should use to do my swap cards for the event. Hello, Penny. And drum roll, we have a tie. Resourceful Rusty and For the Books got equal number of votes. I was actually kind of surprised Thankful Garden didn't get more, but maybe people have seen more of that stamp set lately. So yes, so I will be doing, I actually have 2 swaps. I have like general swapping, and then I have a shoebox swap. So I'll use these 2 to make each of those swaps. Thank you very much for your help. Now I don't have to decide. So to explain, the general swapping is where like I'll make the same card like 20, 25 times. I'll bring those with, and then I'll just hand those out to people and trade for their cards that they've made. So I should come home with 20 to 25 different card ideas, right? The shoebox swap is something that's happening in the evening after the event, and that is where I'll make 1 sample of the card, and I'll cut supplies and everything and bring everything so that 10 other people can make that card. So there's a little more active stamping going on in that particular swap, and I only have to make 1. So yeah, so I need 2 ideas, and I got 2 stamp sets to work with. Good job. A couple of things too I wanted to point out. Tomorrow, April 1st, no joke, no fools, the last chance list is going live tomorrow. So that is last chance on the annual catalog that is retiring, and any other online exclusives that might be going out. So be sure to check my online store. The link is in the video description for that last chance products. I believe you can find that under the sale or specials. I think it's specials. But yes, there's always a banner on the website as well, so you can check that. Some of those things go pretty quickly, especially for things like in colors that are going out. Those go really quickly. So if you haven't jumped on the bandwagon yet, because I've been telling you to, definitely check those and get any of those, and especially the re-inkers if you want them, okay? The other thing I wanted to mention, and I'll be blasting this out a little bit more over the next week or so, is starting April 15th, rewards are changing. So it used to be, or it is now, that if you spent $150, then you would earn Stampin' Rewards. You would get free stuff, which is always fun. Starting April 15th, you'll start getting rewarded with only a $20 order. So as long as you're ordering $20 or more, you'll earn 10% of that order towards a future order. So, it's like a lot of the retail stores do, where you go in, you buy stuff, they give you, cash, whatever, bucks, whatever they call it, right? And then you come back in the next time and you use that. So that's how it'll be. And it's nice because it starts right at 20 bucks. So everybody can participate in that one. So that is starting April 15th. All right. The other thing about that is you do need an online account. So if you have not created one in my online store, then definitely get that going. And the first time you are purchasing, you will be prompted to opt in for the rewards. Make sure you do that. Otherwise, you don't earn any rewards and you can't go back and retroactively accumulate them. So it's all free. You just have to make sure you have that account and opt in. All right, enough of the business, right? Let's get to it. So this is the 5th Monday of the month. There's a few of the months that happen this year that will have 5 Mondays. So we're out of our regular rotation. So it was kind of dealer's choice tonight. So I decided to pick a color combo and show you some different things you can do with it and kind of talk you through how you can change the mood and the vibe of a project by using other things with the same colors. So this was a color combo that I shared in my newsletter a few weeks ago. It is Calypso Coral, Blackberry Bliss, Peach Pie, and Moody Mauve. All right, so we're going to create with that tonight. I have 3 cards to show you, one of which we're going to put together. So yes, I will be making one of them tonight because I know you love to watch me stamp and babble. So we'll do that. And then I will show you the other 2 and talk you through how the vibes are different. All righty. So we will be using the Sketched Butterfly bundle tonight. Absolutely love this one. And sometimes I don't pull it out of the stack because, I got to color that butterfly. I have a very easy way for you to do that tonight. So if you are in a pinch, or if you hate to color, or if you just don't like the results of your coloring, this one's for you. So we need to start out by stamping this big butterfly. And for that, we need a big Stampin' Block. So my sample I actually did in Memento ink, but I think I'm going to use my Blackberry for this. And we're going to see just how it differs. So I'll show you the other one afterwards. Let's stamp this towards the top. And as always, I have put a supply list for this card that I'm making in the video description. So if you want to recreate it, then you know exactly what I've used. Okay, now we want to get our blending brush. So this was on Peach Pie, and I'm going to use the Moody Mauve, which is one of the guys we're going to say goodbye to this next month. So if you like your mauve, then hop on there tomorrow, right? And I'm just going to color the top of the butterfly. And it won't be exact. It'll be like whatever, right? I'm starting off the cardstock so I don't get a big blotchy guy. But the nice part is, too, I have all this space above that butterfly that's just going to get die cut out. So if I get a big blotch up there, it doesn't matter. And I can do like more color up here, up top, and kind of make it a little bit of an ombre effect, right? And then I always keep a microfiber cloth in my craft room. It's great for all sorts of things, but this is mostly, as you can tell, what I clean my blending brushes with. All righty. So that is that butterfly. And we're going to die cut that. But also, we're going to die cut these very intricate butterflies. And for that, I want to use my adhesive sheets so I don't, oops, sorry. So I don't have to add like liquid glue or anything like that to the back of those. So we're just going to peel off the backing here. And then I'm just going to put this on the bottom. It doesn't matter if it is, it's not going to be quite as wide as these. Parts might miss it, and that's okay. So we will put these butterflies on the bottom. Let's grab one of my handy dandy Post-it tapes. And then our big butterfly outline, we will do this guy. Okay, let's bring in our die cut machine. Stay. Apparently I need new Post-it tape. That one's wearing out. Whoops. That wouldn't be good. I don't want any extra cardstock under there. See, guys, you don't have to be really great to do my job. All right. So we have our really pretty ink blended butterfly. Like, how gorgeous is that? And I don't ever think to stamp things on colors besides white or vanilla. So this is a good reminder to me and to you. Stamp it on a color and then blend it in, or, you know, whatever you want to do to add some zhuzh to it, right? So there's that one. I'm going to throw away this Post-it tape because it's done. And then these guys. So when you peel this off of here, now I've just got, I meant to run that through a few times. So now when I pull off this backing, it'll be like a big sticker. It'll have adhesive on the back of it, which is fabulous. I'll throw that one out too. Okay. Just following my little outline here to make sure I know what I'm doing. Yep, okay. So now we need another die cut. This is going to be my main card layer, but I'm actually going to cut a butterfly out of that as well. Okie doke. I'll just do that off camera. You guys know how to die cut, right? All right. So now I've got a nice hole in the top of my card. And I have a really pretty blackberry butterfly to use on another project. Maybe as a little tag for a gift. All sorts of fun things you can do. Okay, so we've got that. We've got our card base of Calypso Coral. And I'm going to start some assembly. So my regular blackberry layer here is going to go on flat. I'm going to use liquid glue so I can kind of get up top here and just around that butterfly. So now I've got an extra peekaboo of that butterfly. And then this one is going to go on with dimensionals. So it'll kind of have a, like a shadow or an outline kind of thing. Oh, and that was a tip I was going to give you tonight. So a lot of times you'll see me use my Take Your Pick tool to take off the backings of dimensionals or other kinds of things. But if you don't have a Take Your Pick, or maybe you don't have it with you, you can simply pop your fingernail into it and then see it just pops that little, there we go. It just pops that little guy up and it's very easy to tear off. So you usually have your thumb with you, so you can do that. Yes, I never think to stamp on different colors either. And every time I do it, I'm like, why don't I do this more often? So here's your reminder. So now we've got kind of this little outline and he's popped up and just looking so fine, right? So now I'm going to peel this backing off. And a lot of, nope, spoke too soon. I was going to say a lot of those little inside pieces should come off, but they didn't. So what you can do is you can take your little die brush attachment for your Take Your Pick and work those guys out. So I forgot to add that to my little notes, and see, I get going here live and I forget things, which is why I should always put them in my notes. But usually on a die that's this intricate, I would run it through back and forth through the die cut machine like 3 or 4 times. And that way it does die cut everything much better and things come out easier. And of course, now everything's got sticky on the back, so they're all sticking to my fingers. I'm telling you, anybody can do this job. You'd think after, 20 years, I might remember some things, but I don't always. There you go. But that was super easy, really. So there is our very intricate butterflies. Oops, we got a couple back here, and I don't want them in there. So I will say, too, when you have a die like this, you can leave some of those pieces in. We did a project at the last group meeting I was at where there was a leaf pattern that was like this that had the little bits coming out, and we left some of them in. So the other thing I like to do when I use adhesive sheets is I use the flat side of an acrylic block, and I'll just kind of go over it. And you'll see part of that is lifting up because it didn't have the adhesive sheets on it, which is cool because it kind of looks like he's flying off the card. All right, so then we need a greeting as I try to get all this sticky off my hands. You guys, what are you going to do with me? All right, so we're going with you brighten up so many of my days, because that's a nice little thing to send somebody, right? So let's get a longer block, and because this is the red rubber, we can't see through it to make sure it's straight, right? So we want to make sure that we get that lined up on the block straight. So what I will do is I'll line up the block with my grid lines, and then I will do my best to take the bottom of these words and each side line them up with one of the grid lines I can see through the block. I hope that looks, this one's being more finicky. Usually I get that done pretty quickly. All right, so we're going to grab our Blackberry Bliss again. And I did want this card to stay pretty like dramatic color-wise. So I didn't want to add any white to the top. So here's where my Moody Mauve is going to come in again. Okay, so I've lined my cardstock up with a grid line as well, and now I can line my block up with a grid line. And I know that I'll get that straight. Alternately, if you have something like this, you can always stamp it first and then cut the cardstock straight with the saying. So if you are worried about stamping your things straight, you can just cut it afterwards. Easier. All right. And then to add a little bit of pizzazz to that plain rectangle, I've got the, I can't remember exactly what this is called. It's a happy something labels punch. But basically, this is a triple layer punch. So it's got a 1-inch groove. That's the biggest one. It's got a 3/4 inch groove and then a 1/2 inch groove. So no matter kind of what size strip you want, you've got a channel to go in there. So we're going to use this one. There's 2 different designs on here. I'm just going to fit it in that groove so I know everything is centered. And it's going to go in pretty far. See, you can see upside down that cardstock is all the way to the end. And it's going to take off like, I think about 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch. And whammo, now we have a pretty little edge. So like I said, there's 2 different, there's a smaller kind of scallop, and then there's kind of this, it's almost like a postage stamp. Thank you, Penny. I was hoping somebody would. The Happy Labels Pick-a-Punch, right? I think. So, all right, so we've got that. So let's grab our liquid glue and we'll add that to our card. And this will just kind of peek in here. I must have put my little butterflies over farther, so we'll just put that to the edge of the card instead. And one last little guy, we've got some brushed brass butterflies. That one's so hard to say quickly. because, you know, one more butterfly, right? So add a little bling. And there you have your very dramatic card with that color combo. So yeah, I added no white, no vanilla. I will show you my other sample here. So this was with the Memento black ink. And I do think I like it with the blackberry better. It's a little softer, but both of them look good, I think. And then on the inside of this guy, I just took this. There's one stamp that has 4 butterflies on it. So we just have them floating around in the middle. Thank you. Yeah, I did put white on the inside. But obviously you could go with a vanilla. You could even go with the peach pie because you could write on that and it would come up no problem. But I tend to put white or vanilla on my insides because, you know, it's the inside. And that's all the explanation I'm going to give you. All right, so that is our first one. Very dramatic, very bold, right? So next we're going to go very fun, very whimsical, something for the kid or the kid at heart. So we've got our dinosaurs, and I've taken 3 of the colors. I did not have the Moody Mauve blends, so I used the other 3 colors, the blackberry, the coral, and the peach, to color in my dinosaurs, each with a different base color, and then pulled in the other colors as well. And this is the egg dye I did to do that little bottom part. So with each of these, I've got a nice soft, I know, I love those dinos too. I've got a nice soft watercolory card for the last one. And this is with our winterly treetops. So this is on watercolor paper. It is embossed with the black embossing powder. And then I wet the whole thing down and just dripped color in. So it's all 4 of those colors I used in the watercolor part. But this one's a lot brighter, right? And so what I did when I was planning out was decide kind of which color I wanted to feature as the main layer. So we went blackberry over here. This one I went mauve, and this one I went coral, to kind of give those, hey, Linda, we're just finishing up, really. So that's okay. So to give each of them a different feel, a different vibe, I kind of changed out the base color and built from there. And also the stamp images kind of dictated, you know, how they would go. So again, my butterflies, I kept very dramatic. And then my dinos, I went very silly and fun. And then the bird, you know, we went soft watercolor. So I wanted to pull all of that type of things in. So I'm hoping that you'll give this color combo a try. Again, we have Calypso Coral, Blackberry Bliss, Peach Pie, and Moody Mauve. So if you'll give this one a try, if you post it on social media, be sure to tag me so I can see what you did with them. I'd love for you to just, you know, pop into your craft collection and see what kind of things would look good with these colors. And I'd love to see what you come up with. So, all right. So that's all I have for you tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. Here's your reminder. If you picked up any tips or anything, be sure to share with your friends, even tag them in the video so that they can learn a little something too. I agree, Linda. Blackberry is such a good color. Absolutely love it. All right. So thanks so much for joining me. Till next week, I'm still Nan Gerlitz. Happy stamping.